What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. We are doing our match preview. It is today, 7:44, 5th of February, and we go again tomorrow live at the Valley at 8:01 for some reason. I don't know why it's 8:01. But we play Charlton away, QPR do, and yeah, it's a very, very important game for us as we've beaten Coventry at home last week. And Friday night game on Sky Sports, as everyone knows, we have a bit of a Sky Sports jinx, we do, where we sometimes, well, majority of the time lose. But it's going to be a tough game, it is. We'll talk about it in a second. We will. Let's just see what we have in the chat. Foley, hey DB bro, hope you're well. I'm all good, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Just a bit busy with work. Hopefully you're okay. We definitely can't afford any more. Yeah. Obviously it says it in the title, to be honest. It does. Hopefully everyone's okay today. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Hopefully you're enjoying the rain and the weather in if you're in London at the moment. So yeah. Got to say, I saw the highlights. Vale's passing was on point, mate. Keep telling you, Vale was the one. Vale was the one. And I said this, I personally think they brought Vale in as well to replace Chair. Or work with Chair. It's that simple. It is. I like Vale. I think Vale is one of the most underrated youngsters in England. Do I think he would ever play for England? It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. It'd be nice to see him have the opportunities like he did when he was a kid, but we gotta get up there first. I think we need him to be fit and get up there first in the Premier League, and go from there. So yeah. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing on our match tomorrow against Charlton. Very, very, very big game. Very big game away at the Valley. So yeah. We'll talk about other stuff later after this, we will. But let's just get straight into this, I think. Give us a second. So, as you can see, Charlton Athletic... obviously are they in form? Let's have a look. Not really. They're not in the best of form. Charlton Athletic ain't. They are, you know, they lost to Chelsea in the cup 5-1. They beat Sheffield United at home. They lost to home to Derby County 2-1. They lost away 4-0 to Millwall, and they beat Leicester 2-0 away. You know, there's big games there that they have won. You know, I'm not gonna lie. There's big games there that they have won. You know, the games that they've lost are pretty much like really stuff that we do as QPR. You know, what we do best. So, yeah. You know, we've done the review before already for Charlton. You know, they haven't. You know, from before to now, they have basically declined. You know, since we beat them at our ground, they haven't been, you know, the best. You know, they've dropped a lot where they obviously was in the top 6 they was with us, and dropped down to 17th now. Minus 9 goal difference. They've been struggling. You know, Kelman hasn't been doing too great with Charlton. He's only got a certain amount of goals. In fact, I think we should look at the goals that he has, to be honest, if I can find them. Squad stats. Yeah, so Charlie Kelman only has 4 goals this season. Their top goal scorer is Sonny Carey with 7. So yeah, it's a very, you know, everyone would have thought. Oh, hang on, wait a second. JB Leeds, as a Leeds fan watching the Rats Leicester get points took off, feels good. They laughed at us when we got relegated. Not laughing now, are they? I haven't seen anything at the moment. Leicester got deducted 6 points on Brighton News. Did CJS in his baseball cap Merc advertising at his best? If Foley says. I didn't know that. I haven't, to be honest, I've been so busy with work, I haven't really been on Sky Sports to even acknowledge anything with what's going on. I know Marty got sacked, so yeah, but I don't know. I think it's the best thing for him, to be honest, if it's going that bad there. Yeah, going on with Charlton. Listen, look, Lyndon Dykes is clearly going to be playing tomorrow night against QPR. A fan favourite, a striker, ex-QPR striker. You know, their goals are mainly coming from their forward line. It looks like they're playing a 3-4-3 still, the same as the before. Keep it right home, mate. How are you? JB Leeds, thank you for tuning in as well, man. Thank you for your comment. Hello, DB, mate. I'm all good, mate. How are you? Hopefully, you're all good. Yeah, their striker force is where the goals come from, and you know, look, you know, we've done this before where at the start we told you where the threats was. We, you know, to have their forwards, basically their forwards and their wingers create the chances, but I feel like the main majority of it is that the goal scorers up front are the ones that do their own work. You know, that they're pretty much the mechanical ability up front for them to not just create but score as well. So Charlton are sitting in 17th position, 29 games, 9 wins, 8 draws, 12 losses, minus 9 goal difference, 35 points on the board. You know, we're sitting 11th with 30 games, 12 wins, 7 draws, 11 losses. You know, minus 1 goal difference. You know, I'm pretty happy with what Julian's doing, but for tomorrow's game, it's a must win. It really is. You know, Charlton have, you know, done well at home lately. They have, apart from obviously the Derby County game. You know what? Scrap the fucking bullshit. Listen, it's a must win. At the end of the day, you know, we gotta be beating Charlton. It's one of them games where you look at it on the sheet and you think, right, okay, even though with our injuries, we still have a better striking force. We still have a better midfield. Our defense is on point now. Our goalkeeper situation looks like it could be resolved. So at the end of the day, let's just keep it short and simple. It should be a win in the bag for us, 100%. You know, the form that they're in, Derby loss, Millwall loss, they're pretty much the same type of games that we have. We got to be winning. They've beaten 2 top clubs, you know, so it's kind of a similarity to QPR, really, you know. So it's a big game. It's a very big game for us. It's a must-win game. Their defense has not been great. Goalkeeper's not been great. So it's something we've got to push on. The only threats really at Charlton is there's Kelman and Dykes, really. You know, Carey, as well. Carey's pretty decent this season. 7 goals is pretty good. You know, they've just got Connor Cody on loan, I believe, and some other players. But realistically, I would say we have the better team. Hopefully, we can put the right team out. If we go onto our squad right now, you know, thankfully for the last couple of games, he's playing 4-2-3-1. You know, he's gone back to an attacking formation, which is really good for us. You know, Cook's been informed, Dunn's been informed. Ronnie's just come in to replace Amadou and Benge, who's suspended. He is. And then with Davis in the left, they've all done a cracking job at the back against Coventry, you know. And if we pull in a better performance than we did at Coventry, 100% we can get a really big result. A really big result, you know. I wasn't too impressed with Hayden. It was really a bit of a letdown against Coventry. You know, Madsen, obviously the big talk with Madsen at the moment, he's got team of the season, team of the week in FIFA. So yeah, big talks there, but you know, it's how it is. You know, I'm surprised that they've just recognised him now when he's been playing like that all season. Dembele, I don't know what's going on with Dembele. He was injured. He came off injured, looked like really badly, so he might miss the game. Vale, Smith, and Kone, you know, they should all be fit and ready. Any news on? There's not really any news on any injury wise apart from the usual. You know, Ilishare's not fit yet. Clarkson's not fit. Varane's not fit. Dembele looks like he's going to be out till late March. It looks like now. Poku, don't know really what's going on there. Burrell, do we want him back? Yes, of course. Lakesh, same there. Our new signing is injured as well. So half the squad is injured. Like literally half the squad's injured. And we're going to be playing now with Sam Field fucked off to Norwich. Which listen, look, even though he ain't playing, you know, it's sad to see him go. But I'm hoping his trip to Norwich for the rest of the season is gonna see him get back to form. So yeah. Kruger says Cher's back in training now. If he is, but he's still not going to play tomorrow. 100% he ain't even going to be on the bench tomorrow. They ain't going to risk it. So yeah. So yeah, I would personally say our injuries are fucked. It's that simple. You know, we got a lot to do tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of hard work. You know, and Kone needs to be on form and scoring goals tomorrow. It's that simple. You know, Vale and Smith and Say are probably the ones that are going to be behind him, with Madsen and Hayden, or even Kieran Morgan behind him. You know, I think we're not going to see any changes apart from the Dembele thing. So yeah. Foley says, "I don't blame Phil going on loan. It needs playtime." Yeah, 100%. I agree. I agree. I agree with that. Ryan says he's scared of our away form. Yeah, listen, look, our away form is not great, you know, but at the start it was better than our home form. It was, you know. I think we got so much to do this season still, you know. Right now we're in better form than Charlton. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, and our loss is against Wrexham, which obviously, you know, we could count that as a win or a draw technically if someone made the right call in subbing someone, you know. At the end of the day, we got to make sure the creative threat is there. We can't be doing no 4-4-2 shit against Charlton. We got to stick with what we're doing. The attacking threat needs to be going, you know, and we go from there. Can't fuck around tomorrow. Got to go for it like we would if it was at home. 100%. Ryan, 100%. Listen, look, we got to go there and literally put the pressure on them and put like, I didn't have time to put a display on for wide, like at Coventry, you know, with the setup and all of that. But to be honest, we've played Charlton before. We know what was going to happen. You know, typically when we played them at home, it was pretty much all QPR. We just got to do the same thing. You know, 100% that their manager in Nathan Jones, he's going to put out his best team and he's going to probably put out good defense. You know, Charlton did have their moments at home. They did at our ground, but we did really well in defending the moments. You know, we got to go straight out attack, straight away, and go from there. So yeah. QB1 says, "Can't be interested and see what team JS picks." It will be interesting to see what he picks because, you know, Dembele's injured. Half the team are injured. We're fucked. If we have any more injuries, we're fucked. You know, we've let Sandfield go on loan. You know, right now it's just literally youngsters that are going to be on the bench. So yeah. H Football, good to be tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry. Do you think Ronnie replaces Cook? Oh god, that is a hard question. Listen, look, I think we all know my opinions on Cook right now. You know, at the start of the season, he didn't have a great start. It was really bad. He's been really, really bad this season. You know, if we're going with Cook from the start of the season, 100% Ronnie replaces him. But ever since Ronnie's come in, Steve Cook's done this a great job in defence with Jimmy Dunn, with, you know, performances that you would see when he was at Bournemouth, you know. Steve Cook is a terrific defender, but he has not found his form until now since he got injured last season for QPR. You know, at the end of the day, if Mbenge is back, what he needs to do right now is I don't really want to see Ronnie Edwards at right back, but the likely chances are we are going to see him at right back because he's probably more trustworthy than Mbenge. I'd rather see Mbenge at centre back, personally. That's my own opinion. You know, but he's going to be on the bench. If Ronnie Edwards is in form, Jimmy Dunn's in form, Cook's in form, he will be on the bench. Unless something happens to Davis and he goes at left back, I don't know. So yeah, but realistically right now, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. We got a big game tomorrow. We're in better form than Charlton. It's going to be a tough game at Charlton South. And it's a must-win game. Injuries are killing us. Obviously, we repeated our injuries, obviously. We can't do it. It's going to probably be the same team as we played against Coventry without Dembele. But I think our defense has been proving us wrong in the last couple of weeks. You know, I'm really proud. I'm really happy to say that we have a better defense than we did at the end of last year, you know. Foley says Cook is playing well of late. I think JS played Ronnie at right back because we knew the player from Peterborough. What was the player? Who was the player? I don't know who the player was. Let me know who the player was. Yeah, apart from that, there's not much information. You know, listen. Look, if I go into in depth on this, right, I will. Do you know what? I will. Right. If we go to the Leicester game, right, you know, Charlton were technically all over Leicester. We're all over them. You know, they got the result that they needed. Dyke scored, and but the problem is, even with that, I think the red card kind of killed Leicester, to be honest, to even play that game. So yeah, Charlton controlled that game. But then if we look at the Millwall game, Millwall was dominant completely. Their expected goals 3.97 with 54 possession. That is killing a team. That is killing a team. You know, they made subs like straight after half time. They did, and they still didn't make a difference. So we got a lot to do. We have an opportunity to straight out attack and kill them, really, and go in. So yeah. If we look at Derby County, Derby County never really did anything at their ground and just got lucky with a goal. So yeah, and he got red carded. So yeah. But I think Jay's played COF player, don't remember his name. I think Mason Clark. Was that the guy that got injured? Came off injured? I think it's the guy that came off injured, isn't it? So listen, look. I'm gonna put it simple like this. Coventry. Charlton are probably gonna play the same formation as they have been. Which is the 3-4-3. Or maybe different actually. You never know. But I personally think what our main thing is to do the same thing as what we did against them at home. And that is basically put pressure on the attack straight away, getting the first goal, personally getting the second. We need to score in the first half and the second half. We do. First half, we need to score quick and easy. We need to attack more longer than 25 minutes a game. You know, second half, we need to go in again at the start and finish it off. And then maybe relax right at the end, you know? But realistically, their threat is going to come from the middle. They're going to thread that ball down the middle. They are a lot of times into Dykes. They're going to utilize Dykes a lot because he knows about QPR. He's played for QPR and against QPR. So yeah, I would personally say we need to utilize the middle in defending. We need Jimmy and I would say Steve Cook for sure at the back. We do to watch out for Dykes. You know, Carey apparently is 7 goals. You know, Davis needs to be on top-notch form tomorrow to be on point for destroying him. But I think LeBurn as well is a decent talent as well. So yeah. Wing backs wise, we need, like I said, the only way to stop the wing backs is attacking more frequently and pushing it. So yeah. Defense wise, Charlton, I'm not really fussed about. You know, I think we can get Kone. If we could get a ball into Kone quite a bit, I reckon if he's played up front on his own and he's in that box, we could do well. You know, we need to put Manderson like we did against Coventry, pushing him higher up the field to get that bit more creativity and help out the attack. That would help us a lot tomorrow. But I'm going to go over a prediction of 3-0 QPR. I'm feeling confident about tomorrow. I really am. I'm going to say 3-0. And I think we're going to get a surprisingly good atmosphere there and go from there. Dykes only scores for Scotland. I think we will put in a performance. I'm saying 2-0. Okay, Freddie. Okay. Well, listen, look. I'm saying 3-0. I have full confidence in Julian for tomorrow's game. You know, my main concern is injuries. You know, we'll talk about injuries now. We have a lot of injured players. Apparently back in training this week, but we have important players that are injured, such as Jake Loxall, Varane, Dembele, Poku, Burrell. Our top goal scorer is injured. You know, there's not much we can do there. Even our brand new player is injured, is striker. I don't know if he's back. There's not been really much talk about him, but apparently he's going to be missing the game. But we'll see what happens. He might be put on the bench. You never know. But realistically, 3-0 is what I'm looking for. Put the predictions of your scores in the comments below after the video. I'm going 3-0. Foley's going 2-0. Anyone else, put your comments below and put it in there. But we'll be live tomorrow by 7:45, 15 minutes before kickoff. And we will hopefully get a good result tomorrow for us. So yeah. But on other news, I will go into this. So as you know, Field is gone. And my main concern really is basically this. Well, we're gonna have to start using youngsters. It's literally that obvious, you know. Unless he has positive news of Varane coming back in next week or whatever it is, but you know, I think obviously, you know, I can understand why we've sent Sanfield on loan. I get it. Playing time, but the funny thing is that his team went up to them in November or something like that. If he doesn't get first team, he wants to go out on loan. It almost become a permanent deal because Derby wanted him. Derby really wanted him, and they were very close to agreeing a deal with it. But I think Sanfield was like, it's too late of a notice and all of that. So the likely chances are, I will say this: I think Sanfield's gone at the end of the season. I think he doesn't suit Julian's plans. He doesn't suit Julian's playing style. And I personally think he's gone at the end of the season. We didn't really make any transfers at all. We didn't make any transfers apart from Ronnie Edwards and the youngster. I did say at the start, if we bring in Ronnie, it would be the only signing really that we make. So we've pretty much spent a lot of money this transfer window, and as the window is closed now and it's almost literally nothing we can do, I will say this: I feel like the two windows that we've had this season have been really good for us. Since Nuri's been coming in, since Nuri came in, our transfer activity has been a lot better. We have better scouts, it looks like we're doing a lot better job in scouting players. So what I would say is this: our transfer activity this season has probably been the best for a couple of years, I would say. To bring in the players that we have, and Julian obviously can work with them. I don't know what type of players Julian's going to bring in when he gets a chance next season. But yeah, I would say another brilliant transfer window to bring in a player that the fans wanted. He clearly wanted to come back to QPR. It's one of them teams, he's that player for us. So I'm happy to have Ronnie at QPR. I think realistically he's one of the best young centre backs in England right now. Shoot me down if you want. That's my own personal opinion on that. But yeah, I'm happy with the transfer business. I think we have a lot of not just under 20s. We're starting to get a lot of international youth in our ranks now. So that's pretty good for me. What I would say about QPR. Freddie says Frey scored for Grasshopper as well. Oh, bloody hell, he did. And listen, look, I like Frey. But I just don't think he suits the style of play that Julian wants to play. So, but all the best to him, honestly. If he has scored, hopefully he gets more and goes from there. But yeah, I'm happy for him. It's that simple. Do I see any youngsters playing tomorrow? I would say, yeah, I reckon we're going to see a couple of players on that bench. Unless he comes out of a bit of surprise with on the bench what's going on. So, yeah. QPR lost 5-0. Jesus Christ. Against Watford. What's going on there? But, yeah, listen, look. There's not much news to actually just talk about apart from injury-wise and stuff. But that's the match preview for tomorrow night. Like I said, we'll be live from 8 o'clock, 7:45 tomorrow, and hopefully we can get the win that we need. Foley says, yeah, I'm happy with the transfer so far. Yeah, it's been really, really good. It's been really good. But yeah, apart from that, we're gonna leave it there for tonight. We've been going on for almost half an hour. Jeez. You might think it's a long talk, but it's not really, But yeah, we're gonna leave it there. We'll probably be, like I said, live from 7:45 tomorrow. If we're early, we're early. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. Peace, love, positivity. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to. It does help the channel in basically whatever it is, I don't know. But yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow at 7:45. Have a good day. Last day of work tomorrow for everyone, I guess. Well, I don't know if anyone works Saturdays. Probably I know you do, so yeah. But yeah, see you tomorrow, I guess. Yeah. Catch you in a bit. I'm not at work tomorrow, so I'll be nice, Freddie. We'll catch you on in a bit. Ryan, cheers for tuning in. H Football, thank you. Yeah, so all of you guys, you're killing it, man. Honestly, much love to you lot. Thank you, man.